What's going on, Leo? And welcome to my channel, Alchemist. Justin here, and I hope you're having a wonderful week so far. So, for those of you who are returning, welcome back, Soul Tribe. I appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, and shares. Your support really is just the best, Leo. And it keeps us growing. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm happy to have yourself as brought to here. We're in for an amazing journey. Cause it's General Energy Weekly Spread. Alright, we're feeling groovy, Leo. I'm with it. The energy's there. But, Leo, with this weekly video, whenever you happen to come across it, there may be some messages in here for you. And just so you're all aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one. So take what resonates with you, leave the rest with me, and never force a reading on a situation, okay? So, with all that being said, let's jump into it. Your space has been cleansed. Crystals, feeling lovely. Just great energy all around here, Leo. Now, Leo, I'm going to be pulling a few oracle cards from this deck here, and then we'll get some details with the tarot. Actually, the deck that I'm using, I love this one little Pokemon shout back. But before we jump into this thing, let's get to it. Because with these readings, they're not gender specific readings, so apply these energies to people as they make sense for your situations, okay? Thank you. And in case of y'all were curious, the decks that I'm working with, I've included links for them down in the description box below, so definitely check that out if you're interested. But also down below some links for some other readers that I like watching, Leo, so definitely check them out. Very cool group. I think you'd enjoy them. But let's go ahead and get into your first card here. Oh, and look at you. Leo's all about you. I love it. Because you got the first card of you, which is Family card. That was some big energy here, Leo. But with this card, this is a card of loyalty, faithful, allegiance, parents, children, siblings, fidelity, commitment, trust, affection, support systems, origins, tribe, dependable, sincere, and kindred spirits. And the energy that's coming through here is the children there, Leo. And maybe for some of you, if we're expecting some little ones, or maybe we've been thinking about children, congratulations. That's so exciting. I actually just know someone who just had a little one not too long ago, and that is an exciting time. But I'm also kind of getting with this, maybe for some of us, there have been this, I'm getting that there might be this dissonance that might be kind of going maybe with our children, or maybe we're thinking about when either this is something that's going on with your child, or maybe we're thinking about maybe having like this sense of where we're thinking about when we were kids, possibly, and maybe some of the shortcomings that may have come on our end, and maybe we're trying to correct that maybe with our kids in a sense, and maybe it's not quite translating as we thought. Or I'm even maybe thinking for some it's just like, because it's a mix of energy, because I even feel like for some that, maybe we did have this, and I hope so, this really kind of this happy sense of a childhood, whether this was a complete family or not, but I feel like that maybe for some it's like we're trying to keep, it's just like we're trying to keep that Leo energy going. That sort of like, because when you think about your energy, you're associated with the fifth house, which can be deal with children in that sense. It deals with creation, and that's part of that. And what greater creation than a child? And I feel like it's just like, how do we take? It's like, how do we take all that warmth and that love, that sunshine that you have, and it just like keeps that. I'm even kind of getting this sort of like protective type of energy that's maybe coming through. It's like we maybe want to kind of shield maybe our little ones if we have some from the world, or if we're expecting parents. How do we shout, keep giving them that love, but then also get that prep, just a lot of that sort of like a mix of that love and anxiety that's kind of coming through there. Maybe even I'm even kind of giving a kind of three of swords in a sense of, just for some, where it's like it's this sadness, or maybe this. Let me get some tarot on this, Leo, and get some details. sidebar, Leo, this kind of takes me, using this deck takes me back to when I was a kid. Like, looking with, like, Pokemon and stuff, but... Thank you. Let's see what's going on here, Leo. Interesting. Whew. Alright, Leo. So you have the King of Pentacles, the King of Swords, the Hanged Man, and then the Chariot here. Yeah. And I feel like for some that there's this energy of maybe wanting to provide this sense of stability, for our kids, and this is something where I almost feel like that we're having these, with this combination of this King of Swords and Hanged Man energy that's coming through here. It's like maybe we're like just kind of reevaluating that, or we just had this epiphany as of late, or but this almost feels like maybe for some even going to like even a sense of like this, maybe some childhood healing on a personal level that we might be going through as well, or maybe even, and it's like as we're realizing that, like maybe even paying attention to how we may be kind of carrying on or passing on that sense to our like to contributing to like this legacy in a sense, or trying to maybe do some generational healing, or very interesting energy here, Leo, because I'm even thinking with the Chariot, this is Cancer energy, and Cancerian energy deals with the home space, and Cancer is really all about that emotional security and that needing of that safe sense of foundation. They're my sun signs in Cancer. And yeah, it's a really, really interesting mix here. And it's like either we're trying to, and maybe we're even trying to some, maybe because even thinking with the Chariot, because there's an energy of kind of moving energy. Maybe we either have some children that are maybe moving out of the space, and it's like now we're trying to reevaluate what that energy kind of looks like, kind of seeing, we've been, our little Mankey here's evolved, and I know I'm about to geek out on you there, Leo, but it's like our Pokemon has evolved here, and it's just like they're going out to the world, and we hope that they're tough enough to take this thing, or deal with the challenges that life will bring. Or maybe we have some that have moved away, and maybe there's this like estranged type of energy, and it's just like, how do we bring that sense of back here, Leo? A lot of energy coming through here. Let me get a little bit more on this on the Chariot though. Thank you. All right, Leo. Ooh, there's your ruler. I like this. All right, Leo. So the Chariot is clarified by the Sun, the Three of Cups, and then the Ace of Pentacles here. And this feels like even like almost like a new opportunity, I feel like, for some, especially if we've maybe been like estranged from maybe our kids, possibly. There's been this distance that has kind of gone through there. Maybe like a chance to have like a fresh start in a sense, maybe open a different line of communication, and maybe just like, because sometimes I feel like too when we're going through parenting, maybe we've gone through our mistakes, so we just don't want them to make the same type of mistakes, and this could lead to that sort of frustrating energy. We're trying to bring this clarity, but it's not always, it may not have been met, possibly with that resistance. There's that, oh, how do you understand what I'm going through? But it's, and I feel like maybe it's just like there's this new dialogue that might be kind of opening, or maybe it's just like there's something like that energy of going from children to adults in a sense, and that dynamic shifting, and what that all kind of looks like there, Leo. It's like, very interesting energy here, Leo. Yeah, definitely a lot to kind of unpack with that. So, apply it as it resonates. All right, but let's get another oracle on the mix. Speaking of Cancer, so you got the first card of Cancers here, which is the Pearl card. And with this card, this is a card of emotional force, opening up, experiential wisdom, honesty, intuition, perception, loyalty, the moon, subconscious mind, hidden things, diving deeper, layers, and developing character. And the energy that's coming through here, Leo, is the experiential wisdom. And I feel like for some, if this does kind of tie back to our children maybe going out to the world, kind of learning things on their own, I feel that there's a tougher energy that's kind of coming through here with the experiential wisdom, because I feel that like for some it's like we want to maybe protect or shield our little ones from from the harshness that the world can bring sometime in the lessons and things, but when things aren't just always so sunny and bright. And but I do feel that where it can be tough, it is one of those necessities in life. We have to go through these experiences in order for us to grow. We need those challenges in order to shine at the end of the day, to kind of pass this, to get to that sense of stability, and to get, because I feel like the best thing that we could do, or one of the things that we can do to try to set them up for success, is when things do go astray, and we do kind of go through those harsh times and not really sure what to do, is to provide that safe space in order to come back and kind of like maybe talk this thing out, possibly with the Three of Cups being here, and and just sort of really think about what sort of wisdom did we get from this experience, did we learn from this thing, and if not, what little nuggets of wisdom could you provide, Leo, in order to get to this place. But I'm even too kind of getting with this just on like the more sort of maybe on the child, and like if we needed to do some like inner child healing, that there's something about maybe like reflecting on these experiences in life, and maybe for some, I'm just thinking with the Hanged Man, and I know how this may come across, but it's like maybe, and we can apply to your situation, but it's like maybe we might be, because the Hanged Man can be a card of sacrifice too. And as we're reflecting on things, we can put a lot on the parents, and when you really kind of think about it, they're most of the time they're about as lost as we may feel sometimes there, Leo. And sometimes it can be hard to see that, because they're meant to be the ones that are the guiding force. And I'm even thinking too, maybe if we didn't even have that sense of like, maybe we didn't have that those parents there to give us that guidance, maybe you were one that kind of raised yourself in a sense and kind of had to develop the sense of independence early, possibly. This could be something too where it's where it may not have been great going through that let's say if you're a parent now, or maybe you're even involved in something where you're talking with like, maybe we have like nieces or nephews, or or maybe we're involved in some sort of like, what are those programs, like the big brother big sister type of deal there. You can kind of pass your experience along, provide that sense of love, be that sort of that empathetic ear to help process and be that guiding force that you didn't have there, Leo. And that could even in a sense in helping maybe someone else, however that age may be different or might be, where there could be that healing in healing yourself, as well as helping this other heal as well there, Leo. It can be really beautiful. I feel like sometimes what can happen in those types of situations there. And I feel there's even an energy too. Just thinking with the Hanged Man, this is Neptune energy, and Neptune is this endless and infinite compassion for the universe, and the positive and the negative energies there. And I feel that there is this. It's treating that younger self. I'm even feeling for some if we're holding this sense of bitterness, or it's to give provide even that inner child that space to be angry and to, as it makes sense. We don't want to force this type of stuff. If it becomes too much, you can pull back a little bit and come to it as it makes sense. But let's get some tarot on this. Thank you. Alright, Leo, let's see what's going on here. Alright, so you have the Four of Wands, the Knight of Swords, the Eight of Pentacles, the Ace of Wands, and then you got the Devil here, Leo. And let's talk about the Devil. Because this is giving me this energy of perseverance with the Devil. Because this is Capricorn energy, opposite sign of Cancer. That's interesting too, even just thinking about that, because that's interesting that you, for your major arcanas, at least of the zodiac signs, that you'd have the mother and the father of the zodiacs kind of coming through there, Leo, and that's giving me chills just thinking about it. And I feel like for some, it's like this eight of pentacles is giving me this energy of either you might be a parent who's working really hard and trying to find this balance between being able to be there for your kids, but also having to be that support system, be all of the things. And because the Knight of Swords is a hard working energy too, always on the move, always working real fast, but never really having a complete moment to just slow down and just enjoy the moment and just kind of celebrate. And but it's a mix here, because I even feel that there's this energy of kind of maybe reflecting on the past, possibly, where needing to having to persevere and kind of kind of tough out maybe our childhoods in a sense, because maybe again, like, the parents were always on the move, always working, always just yeah, that's very interesting there, Leo. But I do feel that there is this. I almost feel like that for some, there's this energy, whether this is you or maybe this could even be the parents that we may have. I got like three things on that. So it's like maybe for some there's this energy that we're trying to put in this work, so again, so that our children don't have, I'm living through you, Leo, that our children have, the stability and the support and things that they want. But I'm also kind of getting this energy of like kind of reflecting on a potentially kind of like, it's like there's this understanding that's coming through here again with like the King of Swords, the Hanged Man here, and even the Sun. I'm just like seeing why maybe if we didn't have parents who maybe were a little absent, in the sense of like just always working, but saying that they're thinking that just like the providing was enough, and or even if we had parents that were absent, I do feel that there's this energy potentially that can be this that can be of forgiveness, possibly, as that makes sense again, Leo. I know that that can be, it's tough when we start reflecting on those types of things and you start really kind of doing that shadow work. But the devil can be ways too of energies of where we kind of give our power in a sense, and things that kind of hold us down, and those sort of like old, especially those kind of early development type of wounds that come through can really weigh us down and affect the way that we do navigate through this world. And I feel like there's a correction that's kind of happening here, like a readjustment possibly, or at least an opportunity. Because the Four of Wands could be, it's like the 1111 card, and it's like it's going through, possibly going through like a portal in a sense. And All right, just something to think about there, Leo. Well, a lot to think about, really. All right, let's get your last card. Thank you. Oh, interesting. All right, so you have the first card of Scorpios here, which is the Crystal Ball card. And with this card, this is a card of intuition, premonition, seeing clearly, discernment, perception, sixth sense, instinct, divination, future planning, ESP, past, present, future, gut reaction, and inner knowing. An energy that's coming through here, Leo, is the seeing clearly. And I feel like that's what's really kind of coming through with this sun energy here. That it's just like we're, maybe for some, it's just like we're, I feel like it's not even just understanding what our kids are experiencing as well, but it's like we're really kind of taking in the experience of maybe being a parent, or maybe even if we're just like in the sense of getting ready to become parents, possibly maybe even it's just like the weight of that is really kind of settling in there, and it's just like we're kind of really seeing clearly of the work that's getting ready to come in with that, and the responsibilities that means. Because it's not that we didn't already know that stuff, but I feel like it's one thing to think about it and understand parenting in theory, but then to actually do it into practice, it's a whole different thing. I was actually talking with someone about that today. They were telling me about this little moment that they were having with their child, and something that they hadn't done in years, and they were saying they were just kind of really taking in and cherishing those that kind of like moments like that, because you never know when it's going to be the last time that they're going to do that thing, when you go from being like daddy and mommy to just be a mom, dad, or hey you, or just excuse me, just those types of experiences. And I feel like there is this clarity that's coming through, and maybe even for some, if we're excuse me, let me get some tea, Leo. Might feel a little choked up there, Leo. But maybe even for some, there is this clarity of seeing that, of why things may have gone the way they've gone in your personal childhood there, Leo, that has led up to this point. Or again, maybe with this like kind of estranged energy there, maybe we're having this like this a lot of clarity. I feel like that's kind of coming through with this, and a lot of potential, I feel like, to kind of really build a solid sort of home space here, in the kind of, it kind of, yeah, just bring the family closer, just even just build this bond that's a little bit closer, whether this be with your kids, or maybe these are maybe people who you treat like kids. Or let me get some turn on this, Leo. Thank you. All right, last little bit here, Leo. Oh, all right, Leo. So you have you are getting quite a bit of kings there. You have the King of Wands, the Page of Wands, the Five of Cups, and then you got the Emperor here, Leo. And then let's switch back over. Because with the Five of Cups here, there is this, the Five of Cups can be a very emotional card, very like almost like this emotional upheaval, or that there's this, maybe for some, there's this sense of disappointment, whether this be coming from however end, maybe with our in our relationship with our kids, or maybe in your relationship with your parents, possibly, because that's interesting that the page, the king, and his youngest boy, the or you say not say boy, his youngest child, the page of wands would come through there, and it's just like maybe there was this energy of wanting. For some, this might be something to do with the father, possibly, just with the emperor being here. But I mean, it doesn't. It could be because I've my essentially father figure in a sense is my mother in a way. Like that's my authority figure, and so apply that how it resonates. But I feel like that there is this, maybe even seeing how we've, and maybe in what ways that either like they embody you or you embody them, or even there's this, I'm even kind of getting to that there is this energy of trying to like pass down maybe this wisdom from like the King of Wands to the Page of Wands, and it's just like, how do we get that, how does that even look, and like how do we prepare them for potential disappointments in life, and the kind of emotional struggles that kind of come through on this journey. And yeah, just a lot to kind of process here, Leo. So yeah, definitely. I think because I said we could talk about this all day. So yeah, I think I'll leave that there. But if anything resonated with you, Leo, give it a thumbs up and share this, Leo, because this is a lot to think about. However this might be translating. It's because there's, I mean, innumerable ways that we could have gone about this. So I hope I feel like covered enough there for you, Leo. But and you see, sidebar. This is why I all the decks I get a lot from, but this Pokemon deck it's like extremely profound. Like every time I work with it, I'm always like really kind of surprised. Like, man, what kind of insight can kind of come through there? Just a little sidebar. But yeah, share this if you know someone who's kind of thinking about this type of stuff here, Leo. And subscribe, you emperors, if you haven't already. Hit that bell button, get notified when I release videos each day, and then or each week. And then, lastly, Leo, look at you getting the hottest ticket to come over to my other channel. Not that you need her, but if you have any Cancer in your placement, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Mercury, come on over to the Cherry friends. I do videos Monday through Friday there. We discuss lunar shenanigans, and it's a good old time. And all that housekeeping is down in the description box below. But let me get you surprise cards here, Leo, so I can get you out of here. Interesting. So you got the Wheel of Fortune here, Leo. And I do feel that there is this, I almost feel like that there is this abundance of wisdom that is kind of coming through here, Leo. That there's this great, this, it's like we're seeing things in a way that is helping us grow and helping us expand, either as parents, or as, or even as children, because I feel like you're always you're someone's child there, Leo, and it's just like you're just growing as a person. There's something that's expanding there, and it's like we're kind of getting ready to. We're like, it's like there's this making peace energy, maybe with some of the disappointments and sort of the more emotional times that we may have had growing up, or maybe in dealing with kind of raising kids, or there's this, yeah, I'm really getting the more kind of, because the Wheel of Fortune is Jupiter energy, and that's what I'm more really kind of getting. It's that sense of that understanding and that higher learning, and that, yeah, that sort of wisdom that's coming through there, Leo. But let me go ahead and get your, or get your other oracle card here so I can get you out of here. I like that, Leo. So you got the building blocks card here. It's the 28th card, and when you reduce that, 8 plus 10 is, or 8 plus 10, 8 plus 2 is 10. So Wheel of Fortune energy here. And I feel like it's, we're thinking about our foundation and thinking about, I don't know if you can see how this woman's like kind of like essentially a bunch of building blocks kind of put together there. And it's just like we're thinking about the building blocks of who we are, the foundation that has set us up and the ones that we're going to pass on, whether this be to if we don't even have our own kids, maybe we're thinking about get maybe nieces, nephews, maybe your godparents, however that's looking. It's just like what little blocks can contribute to kind of help build up each other. And it's just like we're all even just even thinking in the grand scheme of things, even just like as a soul tribe, just how we can all contribute those building blocks together. And how are we going to that we're all kind of going through this thing, and we all see that you know we're working towards perfect. We're not it's not that we're not perfect, it's just we're working towards being the best version of ourselves, and whatever that looks like. And sometimes that looks what we think is the best may not be, it may be different from what other people think. And I do feel like it's again that hanged man Neptune energy, that compassion for our fellow person, because we're all one in a sense. And very deep stuff here, Leo. I've yeah, I'm gonna leave that there. I like that. So you stay safe out there, Leo, thinking about all this stuff. And especially if you're doing any sort of like childhood healing and things like that. So that is a lot to deal with. So take that, you deal with that as it makes sense. You raise your vibration through the roof there, Leo, because this is a lot to think about. And raise your whomever you consider a child, or whatever that's looking like, Leo. Just raise the vibration through the roof, and I will catch you on the next one. Later.